If you're not watching Solo Leveling, then you must be allergic to peak fiction, because this week's episode has to be one of the most cinematic fights of all time.
From now on, the Radish family runs this place.
Tsuchino, it's Ratiru, not Radish.
I've always been the weakest, and I've been mocked for it at every turn, but I still try as hard as I can. This is bullshit! Bullshit! You were past your limit? Yeah, we all felt that way. You were making excuses for your own selfishness. That gratitude is as empty as my wallet.
Where we get to witness Jin Wu have a fight to the literal death against the nameless king from Dark Souls 3. So let's lock in. The episode starts off with some mandatory Jin Wu aura farming after he low diffs the boss of floor 80. And we find out that the boss is actually a fine shite who folds to Jin Wu's conqueror's haki and guides him to the final floor of the dungeon he needs to beat to unlock the cure for cancer. So once Jin Wu goes through the fog gate, he's welcomed to an arena with pouring rain and clouds, and it's all being controlled by that absolute unit in the sky, the Demon King Baron. And then we get straight to boxing with Jin Wu's shadows whittling down Baron's minions, but before they could finish the job, Baron starts booming all over the place, causing Jin Wu's army to evaporate, which is draining his mana. So Jin Wu got tired of Baron spawn camping him from the skies and applies his super speed plus stealth buff to destroy the dragon's wings, but those little tricks don't work on FromSoft bosses. So Baron uses his strength build God Sword and bonks Jin Wu back to the ground where his goofy dexterity ass belongs. And before Jin Wu can recover, Baron blasts out one big boom, which is quickly catching up to him, but luckily a shadow from Jin Wu's all-star lineup cancels it out with a fireball, giving Jin Wu the perfect opportunity to decapitate the dragon's head. And before we continue, can we just appreciate how overpowered Jin Wu's lineup is? Igris, Tank, Tusk and Iron have all got to be at least A rank alone. And then you've got Jin Wu who's an S rank. That shit's practically cheating. But in the face of the nameless king who just entered his second phase, will that be enough? Let's find out. So Baron actually has to clutch up on the 3v1 where him and Tusk are booming and dooming straight nuclear bombs at each other. And at the same time, Baron is also having a sword fight with Igris whilst fending off Jin Wu's stealth attacks. But I forgot to mention something. This isn't a 3v1, it's a 4v1. And Iron just grabbed Baron's arms, allowing Jin Wu to get his first clean hit in. But celebration time's over because Jin Wu's ran out of mana, meaning he has to fight big bro Baron one-on-one, and he is pissed. So Baron kicks things up a notch again, and you know that if a boss has 2 phases, then you're gonna be in for the fight of your life. But if a boss has 3 health bars, then you better be willing to sacrifice that chopped chin of yours if you want a fighting chance. So Baron ditches his greatsword and uses 2 daggers just like Jin Wu, and after a plus infinity aura standoff in the rain, they get straight to boxing. At the moment they're equal, but Baron's big booms tip the scale in his favor, which catches Jin Wu off guard to the point where he loses his daggers, giving Baron the chance to knee Jin Wu's testicles. And it's taking all of Jin Wu's strength just to grapple with Baron, but Jin Wu forgot this leaves him at point blank range for 5 big booms. And at this point, bro was truly finished. He just wasn't built to beat my glorious King Baron. But luckily for Jin Wu, the elf horse that led him to floor 100 dashed his daggers back at him, allowing for Jin Wu to use his ruler's hand ability to cut off Baron's arms, allowing Jin Wu to go for the nastiest uppercut of all time. Like bro, you know a punch is career ending when it sends you back to the manga, and there you go. The episode ends with the sky clearing up and Jin Wu chilling and knowing he just found the cure to cancer. We are so back, baby. The episode gets straight to business with a 4v4 S rank spot between Korea and Japan, and to start it off, this Cobra Kai sensei who can turn big goes hit for hit with this generic strong guy, and there's multiple matchups going on right now, like Spike Spiegel, this is the generic speedster, and Beast Boy, this is Ken Kaneki. So as Beast Boy is pressuring Ken Kaneki, Johnny Lawrence and Spike Spiegel got embarrassed by the generic Japanese guys, and to be fair, Spike is a long-range fighter, so all he could do was gain some distance to slime the generic speedster. But that's just a bad matchup, because that's not going to work on someone who's faster than you. Johnny Lawrence has no excuse though, he got dog-walked. So because those two got eliminated, Beast Boy was currently getting tag-teamed, and at the same time, Cha was fighting generic female, and that girl was getting cooked so hard that Cha could run over to help Beast Boy. But during that time, the timid Kaneki did a sneak attack, so Cha reflexively pepper sprays him, and this is where bro's eyes turn red. Me and Kaneki are one and the same for real. If you see our eyes turn red, then you better run. But Jin Wu had enough of this. All these characters were getting too much screen time, so Jin Wu does some mandatory aura forming and subdues the bloodlusted Ken Kaneki whilst protecting the Korean fine shite. So at this point, the supposedly top 5 S rank in the world, Goto Ryuji is curious of how OP Jin Wu is, and a spar between these two stops. First, Ryuji sneaks a fire blast before Jin Wu can say let's begin, and then he starts spamming these yellow balls on Jin Wu, but he weaves through it all effortlessly, and to make things worse, he's smiling. Damn, knowing Ryuji's ego to begin with, I'd be mad too. Imagine getting shown up in close combat by a mage. At least the animation and impact frames of this embarrassment was going crazy. Side note, remember when people tried to downplay Solo Leveling's animation? I never got that because it always looked clean to me, and then you even get scenes like this. Some people are too spoiled, I tell you. The only thing we can realistically hate on is everyone's chopped chin. Back to the action. Ryuji even almost fooled me when he caught Jin Wu, but then Jin Wu instantly grabs his hand before he does an ultimate attack, and this right here just proved to me that Ryuji was a fraud. But this man was eager to prove me wrong, so he challenged Jin Wu to an aura showdown. Little does he know that Jin Wu previously went aura for aura with Baran, but before the Conqueror's Haki clash could finish, the Japanese intervened to save Ryuji from being put on fraud watch. And you know what? After everything I've witnessed so far, I feel like it's not ridiculous to say that Jin Wu might dethrone Piccolo over aura forming championship by the end of the season. It's not even glazed to say that Jin Wu is the LeBron of the Solo Leveling universe. If Jin Wu was the captain of the Titanic, it wouldn't have sunk. You see how Jin Wu's already planning his next move? He said he won't join the Jeju Island raid because he wants to spend time with his mom and horny sister, but we all know Jin Wu's waiting for everyone to get the living daylights beaten out of them before he steps in last minute to aura form. I mean, save the day. I wouldn't even be surprised if bro shows up to Jeju Island on his dragon for extra points as well, because when Jin Wu says his signature catchphrase, erect, wakey wakey, or egress, help, it's just absolute cinema. Oh yeah, when Jin Wu says arise, that's pretty cool, but I know we all saw Jin Wu sneak soldiers into everyone's shadows. Bro can teleport to the island whenever he needs to. He really do be aura farming for the love of the game. So the POV switches to Jeju Island, where everyone witnesses the birth of Meruem. Sorry, I mean Beru, and all hunters are dedicating themselves to the cause, from E to S rank, even the ones who are mentally ill. So I'm feeling pretty confident that the raid will work this time. After all, they've even got a low accurate cameraman joining the raid, and bro's even A rank. I do find it funny how everyone's risking their lives fighting off Chimera ants while Jinru's doing push-ups in the park, but my optimism did a whole 180 when this S rank healer was flirting with a generic strong guy and got her head decapitated, and just like that, the episode's finished. You best believe I'll be covering next week's episode, so like, subscribe and comment to increase my aura. Sorry if my voice sounds raspy sometimes in the video. I'm fasting and voice recording with no water is nerfing me. I just know Japan must have hated animating this episode. We follow off from last time where the S rank healer gets her head decapitated, and then the S rank swordsman didn't want her to feel lonely, so after showing off some of his skills, he then joins her. The POV then changes to the Koreans dominating the ants as they move in on the Ant Queen. So after a cold combo from Cha and the shield hero, Inosuke uses beast breathing 7 form to find her. The POV then goes back to the Japanese because things were going too well. So Todoroki started shivering in his boots because he could smell the stench, I mean aura, that Beru was giving off, so he panicked and froze half of Jeju Island as well as himself, and then Beru cracked his backside. I have a feeling Todoroki is still alive though, so we won't add him to the Japanese kill count for now. Okay, back to the good POV. The S-rank Koreans are looking right now. We have no weaknesses with the shield hero as a vanguard, Human Torch as DPS, Beast Boy on the front lines, the healers moving like Prime Jeff the Shock, and we've got Green Arrow and Cha all moving like the Avengers right now. I could reach Grandmaster with this team, no sweat. The Chimera ants, or even Lucky the cameraman, got held back. He could have ended the show right there and then. So after the Avengers breeze through the Ant Gods, Green Arrow spams more arrows on the Ant Queen, but they are bigger now. The shield hero uses his shield, Beast Boy crashes out and they almost got poisoned, but the healer clutched up. This team has no holes in their formation. They are looking like prime MSN out here. So Human Torch throws a mini sun at the queen, and she let out a concerning big scream, which I'm sure means nothing. And then she tries to skedaddle, but before she can do that, Cha cuts off all of the queen's legs and beheads her. I'm giving Cha the MVP role for this performance. But regardless of that amazing teamwork, this episode was lacking too much aura, so Beru came to change that and locked in for the next 10 minutes. After hearing his mom's battle screech, he nonchalantly walks past the S-ranks and ate out his mama's intestines. Crazy thing is that all the S-ranks could do here was watch because they knew they were cooked. Beru even had the MVP kneeling from his presence alone. But yeah, if your opponent walks past you in any situation, just give up. Bro was literally powering up before their very eyes and all they could do was watch. Nobody planned for this demon to be a part of the raid. So Beru starts the humbling off by sending the MVP cartwheeling into the heavens. He then rips off the shield hero's arms, slices Inosuke to pieces, karate chops Human Torch, and this next part was just crazy disrespectful. Beru grabbed the Archer's arrow mid-shot and then snapped it. He then proceeded to hit the Archer not once but twice while he was falling mid-air just to seal the deal. And there was a sliver of hope for the Avengers because the healer was bush camping and he managed to grow a new set of arms for the shield hero. I'm not sure what the point of reviving Bro was because he then proceeded to get ragdolled like that one time with the Hulk and Loki. Beru then finds where Bro was bush camping and proceeds to decapitate him in front of his homie Inosuke. Beru even ate the healer's head in front of my guy. Now me personally, I would not let that slide. Beru then proceeds to grab Inosuke and tell him to run. Imagine your first words being run. He then goes off on a philosophical tangent about how everyone's weak, how he hates Japanese, and how he loves K-pop, and then proceeds to leave the Koreans alone after only killing one of them. But the amount of aura points Bro racked up in those minutes was priceless. Bro really listened to one of those low IQ podcasts and prioritized aura over efficiency.
We prioritize aura above everything else. Like, if you can make some money but lose some aura, never do that shit. If you're playing the long game in life, just put aura at the center of everything. And everything you do, ask yourself, will this negatively or positively impact my aura? And you think about the compounding returns.
Bear in mind, this guy stole Jin Wu's OST whilst he was finding different ways to embarrass all these S ranks and make them look like E ranks. But stealing someone's OST is just nefarious work. The POV then goes back to the remaining Japanese S ranks who are trying to duck the fate so that the world will think the Japanese are superior to Koreans, and then they'll come back to Jeju Island with an even stronger army. But before Japan could ruin Korea's reputation, Beru quickly added another S rank to the kill count, and I just can't wait for next episode because Goto's cocky ass is gonna get exposed for the fraud that he truly is. How dare this man call himself the king in front of my glorious goat Beru? At least Goto is aware of how there's levels to this game, and Jin Wu and Beru are so clear of him. The episode ends with Jin Wu's shadow soldiers saving the Koreans from getting folded, and Jin Wu saying exchange as he looks over the city like the aura farming king that he is. Bro really waited for 90% of the S ranks to get disposed of before stepping in, and he does this all the time. Jin Wu can't keep getting away with this. He's really sacrificing people's lives for aura. And the last thing that I need to touch up on here is that Beru is definitely racist. After going through all the evidence in this episode, I found out he definitely has a secret anti-Japan agenda going on here, because even though he tested out different fatalities on the Koreans, he didn't even give the Japanese the time to process that they're about to get cooked. And according to my calculations, the Japanese to Korea kill count is 3-1 and hopefully soon to be 4-1 if Beru can quickly finish off Goto before Jin Wu steps in. So Beru is definitely picking favorites here, and I will be covering next week's episode no matter what. This episode was so good that the animators forgot to add an intro. After a quick consultation with his shadows, so now would be the most optimal time to aura farm. Jin Wu walks past the S ranks nonchalantly as Egress, Tank, Iron and Tusk make him look good by cleaning out the fodder, and currently the signal's down, so Jin Wu's not putting in much effort to aura farm because he can't farm donations on chat. So for now, Jin Wu spoon feeds the S rank some antibiotics. Here comes the choo-choo train, wakey wakey, and it works on everyone except Cha because she's in critical condition. So before Jin Wu can fly the huzz away on his dragon to the hospital, hospital, he makes all the S-rank sign a non-disclosure agreement because he was about to make the ants switch teams. But Beru couldn't let Jin Wu one-up him, so the ants move aside for their king. Also, have you guys noticed how whenever a guy is getting pummeled, Jin Wu will wait until bro is seeing the pearly white gates to help out, but if the Hoz is in danger, he will immediately lock in. Just look at Exhibit A, B, and the present. Jin Wu might be the embodiment of "you ladies alright? Is he hurting you?" Because I guarantee you, if any other S-rank was in Charles' position right now, Jin Wu would not go into crunch time to save him, and the cameraman knew he had to lock in when Jin Wu and Beru were squaring up to each other, so he gets the signal working so all of Korea, Jin Wu's freaky sister, and Chairman Go can witness this historical fade. And can I just say, Chairman Go, being a day one Sung Jin Woo fanboy and screaming into the screen like he just saw his favorite team win the World Cup, brings me immense happiness. Bro literally embodies all solo leveling fans witnessing this peak fight. And I also say, the cameraman has got to have the most plot armor in the series. How bro is even alive at this point will go down as one of the 5 biggest mysteries in history. He somehow got more plot armor than Jin Woo, and to be fair, he didn't get ratted out by the shield hero last episode. Damn, I'm cooked. If I'm gonna go down, I might as well take bro down with me. Come out, healer, who is hiding approximately 3 steps behind me. He found us. That mother's... So maybe that's why he was still able to stream snipe this magnificent squabble. But enough yapping. Jin Wu and Beru square up and have a conqueror's haki clash, and at first, the fight starts off slow because these two aura formers want to tank each other's best shots to look good on camera. Yo chat, did you see that? So Jin Wu tanks Beru's left hook, then uses Ruler's hand to immobilize him for a bit so he could use the same life-changing uppercut he did to Baron, but Beru dodges it last minute, and they're currently going hit for hit. But Jin Wu's got the upper hand here because he's dodging more and Beru's leaking out gabagoo, and then he gets sent flying. Jin Wu then lands another nefarious backshot to Beru, but bro was waiting for this so that he could slash Jin Wu with his poison tongue. And just as Jin Wu's about to get executed, the POV changes to Japan because solo leveling is addicted to edging its viewers. And yeah, we already established the Japanese are gonna attempt to snake Korea and steal all the glory, but I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot Goto was supposed to be fighting Beru until they brought up him getting off screen, and this is so disrespectful, I have no words. I know I've been hate watching on Goto in my previous videos, but bro didn't get a singular frame in this episode. He just got a, oh yeah, that dumbass got squashed by a bug. Anyways, I wouldn't wish this type of disrespect on my worst enemy. Back to the action. Jin Wu parries Beru's hit and gives bro a devious gut punch, and then he tries to do that battle axe kick that Luffy did to Oolong, but Beru dodged again, and he was getting anxious now, so he uses his mega evolution to turn into a Hollow Knight boss. So Jin Wu gets serious as well by bringing out his Radon greatswords. And I'm gonna be honest, up till now the animation was made. There was no OST playing either, it was just straight hands. I was getting worried they used up the budget in the Boran fight, but thankfully I was completely wrong. From this point onwards, the fight is literal art. I can't do it justice, mainly because just like the S ranks who got demoted to normal civilians in the last episode, my eyes can't comprehend this glorious animation. I swear that animation studio must have unlocked some new form of animation for this episode, because I've never seen anything like it. This fight was so fast paced. You had lightning and fire auras zigzagging all across the cave, and Beru spamming this frozen domain expansion. These guys are literally fighting off of rubble that's caving in through the cave ceiling. You can't even tell who's winning, but what you can see is that whoever gets the first opening is getting killed off before they can even blink. So Jin Wu does that and starts slashing the gamma juice out of Beru, but Beru full mounts onto Jin Wu and was so close to stabbing out bro's eyes. This scene was very intense, but luckily for Jin Wu, he got a mutilation skill upgrade and spams this skill like his life depends on it, which it does. Beru then realizes he's not built for this and runs like his life depends on it as well. But then Jin Wu goes on full hunting mode and goes full Levi on the Beast Titan, I mean Beru. He then tries evolving into his third phase and gets his ants to jump Jin Wu, but my glorious aura forming king just smirks and says go, as the Avengers come to protect him. That's the smile of someone who knows he's won. Also, who let bro keep that goddamn dragon? Having this much aura has got to be illegal. But yeah, Beru saying he must run when his first words were run is pretty poetic, and him running away whilst Jin Wu chases him instantly reminded me of Itadori walking down Mahito. Jin Wu then proceeds to mutilate Beru's backside and put him down for good. Not gonna lie, Jin Wu didn't need to do bro dirty like that. Beru for real got hack and slashed to death. So the episode ends off with Jin Wu trying out the cure for cancer on Chia, but even that doesn't work. And then Jin Wu comes up with another idea, but then we get cut off with an absolute cliffhanger. These endings have got to count as rage bait at this point. Solo Leveling has got to be the only anime that gets edited each episode. It's just that good, and even though Beru low-key got dog walked, it could have always been worse. Imagine if he pulled up to Blue Lock and went one-on-one with the king of the court, Beru. Then Beru would lose all credibility. I can't believe season 2 is already over and I still don't remember any of the cast name except for Jin Wu. The episode starts off with Jin Wu enslaving the healer so he can revive the horse.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
But in order to keep his reputation clean, Jin Wu releases the healer. This might be the most ethical thing I've seen a Pokemon trainer do. Jin Wu decides to stay back to Aura form before the season ends by using his great sword, and he farms his way to level 100. He then uses a Master Ball to catch a legendary bug type Pokemon, and he can even talk to, so you know the glaze bro is gonna give Jin Wu is gonna be on another level. And you guys aren't ready for season 3 Beru. He's a textbook example of what happens when you're in a boss fight versus when you unlock the boss. Bro went from one-shotting all S ranks to watching K-dramas to pass the time. You gotta respect it. So as the fodder humans fight off of the fodder ants, Jin Wu saves the S ranks again, but this time he's on his dragon holding up his greatsword whilst the heavens shine on him. How's bro doing this? Seriously. And then the Hunter x Hunter narrator does some classic waffling to end the season on a good note by talking about how hunters surprisingly hunt, and that's why they are called hunters. And all I have to say to that is absolute cinema. The POV then switches to some guy in Japan molding over the fact that the author made them look pathetic, and then some Lu Bu looking fella uses impact rings to unsheath his weapons and obliterate some more fodder. He also claims Beru would have given him a good workout, but after how Goto was acting, I wouldn't be surprised if Lu Bu was another bum. It's also crazy how we still haven't seen Goto's corpse since he got loaded, and that's so funny to me. We also get some glimpses of the big bads for next season, like that Ice Elf and Inosuke's father. I'm pretty sure they are called Monarchs. We also see Thomas Andre, I think. He's the world's best hunter, so there's a lot to look forward to next year. So subscribe or else I'll turn you into the next Goto Ryuji. During the memorial, the public start questioning if they should be grateful to Jin Wu for carrying the Jeju Island raid, or call him out on his ethics because he prioritized aura farming over saving lives. And that's valid, to be honest. People were literally questioning this in real life just a week ago. But I'll always be biased towards King Jin Wu. If he wants to spend hours searching for the right rooftop to aura farm from instead of spending time with his family or saving the world, then I'm gonna turn a blind eye. If Jin Wu has no glazers, then me and Beru must not exist in that reality. Jin Wu then has a meeting with his biggest fan to let him know he's starting up a guild with his little bro and underage girlfriend, and before the episode ends, a dungeon broke out, so since Jin Wu was close by, he went to help out and said he'll solo the dungeon. That name drop's gotta be on par with Dr. Doom saying I hate you 3000. It's truly absolute cinema. So after a final aura farming montage, the season ends with Sung Drip Wu walking out in the rain with his suit on as all his shadows bow to him. I generally don't know what these animes expect me to do for the rest of the year. My purpose for living is to consume Solo Leveling. I really liked how this anime feels like a Souls game low-key because I'm quite a Souls fanatic. In fact, I even have some Souls videos on this channel somewhere, and even though Solo Leveling is low-key and isekai, it's still very valid. So for now, like, subscribe, and comment something, and watch my other videos. Now that you have more free time, I've made a lot. See you all in the next video.